Have you ever felt like there's this deep, untapped power just sitting inside you? Well, back in 1975, a guy named John Kehoe literally walked away from it all, into the Canadian wilderness for 3 whole years. He was totally isolated, and his goal was simple: to figure out the hidden workings of the human brain. What he discovered became his mind power system, and it's a pretty radical way of looking at how we shape our own reality. So let's dive in and see how you can tap into this power too. And this is the question at the very heart of it all. It completely flips the script on how we usually see the world. I mean, we're taught to just react to what happens to us, right? But what if? What if we actually have the power to influence what happens through us? And what if it all starts with the one thing we actually can control: our own thoughts? You know, this quote from Einstein is the perfect way to frame this journey we're about to take. We're basically about to climb a new mountain of ideas. And the view from the top, this new perspective on reality and your role in it, well, it might just change everything. All right, let's get right to the foundation of this entire system. It's a really simple but incredibly profound idea. Your internal world, your thoughts, your feelings, that's the primary creative force for your external world. Now, what's so wild about this is how it totally lines up with what modern physics has been telling us. You know, the old school clockwork view of the universe has been replaced by this vision of a dynamic, holographic web of pure energy. And get this, your consciousness isn't just watching from the sidelines, it's part of the web. In fact, for almost 30 years, experiments at Princeton's Pierre Lab showed that human intention could actually measurably influence the output of random number generators. It's a small effect, for sure, but it suggests a real link between our minds and the physical world. I love this analogy. It's such a perfect way to picture it. Think about it. Thousands of random, scattered thoughts zipping through your head all day have very little power. They're like diffuse sunlight. But when you learn how to focus your thoughts on a single point, just like a magnifying glass, you concentrate all that energy. And that's when you get the power to create real change, to literally spark a fire. Okay, so that's the what. But how do we actually do this? How do we focus that energy? Well, let's get into our first practical tool. And believe me, it's a big one: harnessing the power of visualization. And you can't talk about this without bringing up Arnold Schwarzenegger. This guy is a perfect example of this principle in action. He didn't just hope for success. Long before he was Mr. Universe or a Hollywood superstar, he was just a kid in Austria, meticulously rehearsing his victories in his mind. I mean, he won bodybuilding titles thousands of times in his head before he ever even stepped on a stage. He literally built his future from the inside out. So it's really important to get this. This isn't just spacing out and daydreaming. It's a structured exercise. First, you've got to get crystal clear on your goal. Second, you relax, so your mind is open and receptive. And third, and this only takes about 5 or 10 minutes a day, you create this vivid mental movie where you are the star, successfully living out your goal. You see it, you feel it, you experience it as if it's already real. And if you're thinking, okay, sounds nice, but where's the proof? Well, check this out. Psychologist Alan Richardson did this experiment where he split basketball players into 3 groups. One group practiced free throws every day. A second group did absolutely nothing. But the third group, they never even touched a basketball. They only visualized making perfect shots for 20 minutes a day. And the results? They're just stunning. The group that only practiced in their minds improved by 23%, almost the exact same as the group that practiced physically. Your brain, it seems, doesn't always know the difference between something that's real and something that's vividly imagined. All right, so visualization is a huge piece of the puzzle. But let's build on that, because seeing the goal is one thing, but to really truly impress it upon your subconscious mind, you need to add 2 more crucial ingredients: powerful emotion and consistent repetition. Kehoe calls this technique implanting or seeding, and it's basically taking visualization to the next level. You don't just see yourself giving a great presentation, you actually conjure up the feeling of relief and pride and excitement you would have after it was all over. You live in the emotion of the completed goal. You know, this ancient wisdom captures this idea perfectly. But notice the tense. Believe that you have received it, not that you will receive it someday. It's a statement of faith in a reality that already exists in your mind. You're basically telling your subconscious, hey, this isn't a wish, it's a done deal. And here's another tool, and this one is so simple but crazy effective: affirmations. See, your brain can really only hold one thought at a time. So by consciously choosing to repeat a positive statement over and over, you're actively hijacking your brain's internal chatter and pointing it towards where you want to go. But, and this is important, there are a few rules to make them actually work. They have to be positive. Saying I am not nervous is useless because your brain just latches on to nervous. Instead, you declare I am calm and confident. You want to keep them short, use the present tense, and repeat them with genuine feeling. The practical application here is to first just notice the negative, unconscious affirmations you might be running on a loop already. The thoughts like, I'm not good enough, or this will never work. Then you just consciously replace them. The thing is, you're already using affirmations. The only question is, are they working for you or against you? So, when you put all of this together, the mental movie of visualization, supercharged with the feeling of accomplishment, and then reinforced every single day through affirmations, what are you actually doing? You're consciously and deliberately drawing up the blueprint for your life. You are literally moving from being a passenger to being the architect. Kehoe's central analogy, and I think it's his most powerful, is this: your mind is a garden. Now, if you just leave it unattended, weeds of fear, doubt, and limitation will grow all by themselves. That's just what they do. But as the gardener, you have the power and the responsibility to choose what you cultivate. You can pull the weeds and intentionally plant the seeds of success, confidence, and abundance. And this isn't a one-time job. It's a daily practice of tending to your inner world. Okay, but does this stuff actually work in the real world? Let me tell you the true story of the actress Carol Burnett. She grew up poor but had this powerful dream of going to university. Every single day, she would visualize it with intense detail and feeling. She had no logical way to get there, no money, but she never doubted for a second that she would be a student. Then one day, a completely unmarked envelope shows up in her mailbox. Inside, the exact amount of money she needed for her first year's tuition. Her focused mental energy literally created an opportunity that logic said was impossible. All right, so let's boil this all down. What do you really need to remember? First, your thoughts are not passive. They are a dynamic energy that helps create your reality. Second, use visualization to create a clear mental blueprint for your goals. Third, supercharge that blueprint by feeling the success you want as if it's already here. Fourth, direct your mind every day with simple, positive, present tense affirmations. And finally, and this is the most important one, remember the most important job you have. You are the gardener of your mind, so tend to it with intention. And that really is the big question this work leaves us with. It hands the power and the responsibility right back to you. The soil is fertile, the tools are in your hands. So I'll ask you, what seeds of thought will you intentionally choose to plant, starting right now?